Hi and welcome. In this video, we'll be talking about NRC. Specifically talking about National Register of Citizens, that is NRC of Assam. Why are we discussing this? It is because recently it was in news. The final list of the National Register of Citizens, that is the NRC, for Assam was published in August 2019, specifically speaking 31st of August, after completion of all the statutory works as per the various standard operating procedures. The Assam NRC identifies the bona fide citizens of the state of Assam. Here, almost 3 crore 11 lakh 21,004 was the number of persons who were found eligible for inclusion in the final NRC, and it left about 19 lakh 6,657. Now this is a very astounding numbers. Now these persons were including those who did not submit their claims to the NRC. The first question that arises in the mind is, what is NRC? NRC is basically a list of genuine Indian citizens. And when was it published? The only time the last NRC was published was in the year 1951. And this NRC was based on the census of 1951. So why is it being updated now in Assam only? The 1951 National Register of Citizens is now being updated in Assam to identify the illegal foreigners who may be residing in the state. Updating the NRC was in fact one of the promises made under the Assam Accord, which was signed in the year 1985. However, the process to update the NRC stagnated for years, and until the Supreme Court took up the matter in 2013 and set up a deadline for publishing and updating the National Register of Citizens for Assam. So who is eligible to be in the NRC? People whose names appear in the 1951 NRC, people and descendant of those whose names appear on any voter list prepared in Assam before the midnight of March 24, 1971. Then people who came from Bangladesh between January 1, 1966 and March 24, 1971, and who registered themselves with the Foreigner Regional Registration Office and were declared as Indian citizens by this foreigner tribunal. Then also included are Indian citizens, including their descendant, who moved to Assam after March 24, 1971. Here, they need to furnish proof of residence in another part of the country as on March 24, 1971. So what is the controversy? The Assam National Register Citizen is being seen as a beginning to more of a generalized NRC for the entire country. There are concerns and fears that such an NRC could end up targeting minorities in the country. Then there are also concerns about unfair inclusions as well as exclusions in the NRC of Assam. For example, you might have read in the newspaper, there have been cases of civil servant or army or navy persons who have serviced for the country for almost 30 years and they have been excluded. And in fact, there are people whose parents are included but they are not included, or their immediate family is included but they are not included. So will those who are not in the NRC be expelled from the state? Well, the Assam government has assured people that those who do not find their names missing from the national NRC, from the final NRC for Assam, will not be immediately termed foreigners or illegal immigrants. And those who find their names missing from the NRC will be allowed to appeal with the Foreigners Tribunal, wherein they will get a chance for representation. In fact, the people can even approach the Assam High Court or even the Supreme Court in case they are not satisfied with the response of the Foreigners Tribunal. Then, the Assam government has also said it will provide legal aid to the poor who find their names missing from the list. So what is the Foreigners Tribunal and what is Foreigners Tribunal Amendment Order 2019? On May 30, 2019, the Government of India passed a Foreigners Tribunal Amendment Order 2019. It allows for all states and union territories within India to constitute their own Foreigners Tribunal, which was earlier unique to the state of Assam only, specifically to address the question of citizenship of a person. The amendment empowers district magistrate or DMs in all the state and union territories to set up Foreigners Tribunal to detect the foreigners. Now, following the amendment, the provisional government of Assam has initiated the process of establishing around 400 additional foreigners tribunal, out of which 200 are made functional since the beginning of September. The government of the state is also set to construct 10 more detention camps, besides 6 which are already in place in anticipation of possible requirement to house large numbers of illegal foreigners who may be declared as such by the Foreigners Tribunal. So what was the role of Supreme Court here? As we have already seen from the numbers that it shows, the process of detecting and expelling immigrants, it suffered from many different problems, and that too for a considerable amount of time. And for a long time, NRC update was considered almost an impossible task by the government agency, be it central or be it state. However, the task was finally taken up. Obviously, because of the Supreme Court's order 2013, wherein the Supreme Court mandated the union government and the state government to complete the updation of NRC, following which the Registrar General notified commencing of NRC updation. Since then, the Supreme Court of India is closely monitoring this process and has been holding regular hearings on representations made to it by various interested parties and stakeholders. So some of you may ask, why Supreme Court? So the answer is in reference to Article 144 of the Constitution of India, all authorities, civil and judicial, in the territory of India shall act in the aid of the Supreme Court. And there is another article in the Constitution, Article 142, which further stipulates that the Supreme Court in the exercise of jurisdiction may pass such decree or make such an order as it necessary for doing complete justice in any cause or matter which is pending before it. So you can safely say, based on these two articles, Supreme Court mandated its order in the year 2013. So what is this Assam Accord? Well, it was basically a memorandum of settlement. It was signed between the representative of Government of India and the leaders of the Assam movement. What is an Assam movement? It was basically a 6-year agitation demanding identification and deportation of illegal immigrants, which was launched by All Assam Students Union or ASU. It now basically culminated with the signing of the Assam Accord, and thus this accord brought to an end the Assam movement, which started in the year 1979 and only stopped in the year 1985 with the signing of this accord. So talking about the clause 6 of the Assam Accord, it reads that the constitutional, legislative and administrative safeguards as may be appropriate shall be provided to protect and preserve as well as promote the cultural, social, linguistic identity and heritage of the Assamese people. Basically, it talks about safeguarding of culture, social, linguistic identity and heritage of the Assamese people, and for this there can be constitutional, legislative as well as administrative provisions. So now considering this, a high-level committee was set up. So government in the year 2019 notified a high-level committee that was expected to look into the implementation of this clause of Assam Accord. This committee is headed by retired Guwahati High Court Judge Biplab Kumar Sarma, who will basically make a recommendation on reservation for Assamese people in the assembly and other local bodies. It will also look into the need for reservation in government jobs for Assamese people, besides recommending measures required to preserve the cultural and identity of the local people. So thus it was intended as part of the clause 6 of the Assam Accord, and this committee was notified by Ministry of Home Affairs. So now coming to the question, are now there 2 categories of people or will now be there are 2 categories of people? Short answer is yes. The NRC update is based on March 24, 1971, which defines citizenship, and the clause 6 of the accord relates to Assamese people. So thus some say that the NRC of 1951 should be taken as the cutoff for defining Assamese people eligible for the proposed safeguards. That is, those who migrated between 1951 and 1971 would be Indian citizens but would not be eligible for any safeguards which are meant for Assamese people. So yes, there will be 2 categories of people, one who are found eligible for these safeguards and other who still might be a citizen of India but may not be enjoying these safeguards. So thus the safeguards for the Assamese people to be defined by this committee could be reservation of electoral seats, land, political rights, as well as protection of culture of the indigenous people. So that was a short highlights of the NRC problems and the future course of actions. Thank you.